Hey guys, Curious here. You know, when I talk about, or nationalism is talked about, I often think to myself, well, what's so great about it? And more to the point or not, it always seems like the answer always comes, what's not bad about it? Not so much what's great about it, but what is this a alternative to what I see? And I could get on here and talk about buzz terms like, SJW, NPC, alt left, yada 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 yada. And when people hear this, they just shut off. Well, everybody shuts off because that's the way we're becoming nowadays. It's very hard to speak in a non-centralist way about issues without being delegated to, oh, that's liberal, oh, that's conservative, oh, that's wackadoo, oh, he's a nationalist. I mean, I do it. I do it all the time. I enjoy doing it. I get a Breakfast Club video and I'm like, yay! Time for rebuttal. I mean, I don't want to be a pest. It's just, wow, nitpick. I enjoy this, This is fun. I don't know why I always freaking bother my liberal friends. It's just, from the time of the atheist community, and I know I'm an atheist. Matter of fact, I don't believe in any supernatural, which is hard to do because you catch yourself thinking in non-rational terms. And sometimes it can just be depressing, but other times you don't believe that, but you still feel that way. Like I was saying in one comment thread or something, oh yeah, I'm a psychic shopper. But it's a real feeling, but yet I know logically that can't be real. And I think that's the same way about not only religion, I guess in my case, but with ideology too. When I started out in the atheist community, I was like, yeah, the Scopes trial, we're inheriting the wind. It's a movie reference in case you wanted to know. And this is a good thing. This is truth. This is not dogma. This is not something that someone's freaking shoving down your throat or bending your arm or anything like that. And then it started in with feminism. And I'm like, okay, well, alright. For a while, I actually considered myself a sex-positive feminist. Well, of course, I was hanging with sex-positive feminists. So I'm like, okay, that's not too far of a stretch for me. But the politics aligned for me because it was like, okay, I didn't know at the time, but I'm a social libertarian, so even though that's conservative, that's, you can do with what you want. But when I found out what feminism really was intersectional feminism, and it wasn't about equality, but it was about dominance, and it was about leveling the playing field, and all these things, and sex-negative feminism, and ultimately it was anti-male, and worse, it was anti-egalitarian, and that just like, no, no. That no, I'm done with that. You know, and plus friggin' things with like Skepchick. You know, Elevator Gate. That was just it. That was it. I was done. You know, how dare you attack friggin' Richard Dawkins? How dare you try to derail the important movement of atheism? And you're being part of something that's authoritarian instead of free thought. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. You know, fucking Lacey Green and all this other goddamn horse shit. And yet, all my friends and all the people I know, and even to a lot of people I liked, were like, okay, you know, this is dying off. The skeptic versus freaking theist freaking argument is dying off. Let's talk about feminism. Let's put that freaking, hitch that wagon to it, you know. And then it was feminism, then it was gays, then it was freaking, you know, then it was police brutality, then it was blacks, then it was minorities, then it was freaking, you know, too much for my Archie Bunker soul. I'm sorry. You know, I came to inherit the wind. I did not come for your PC, SJW, freaking NPC bullshit. You neo-Marxist bucket scum. You know. Oh, alt-right, yeah. Oh, shit, Nazis. Richard Spencer, he's a Nazi. Oh, fuck, okay. You know, I mean, when Antifa freaking smacked Richard Spencer, I was pissed because I was into the freaking, the Keck. What do you call it? The name of that frog. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot this. Anyway, you know, I mean, sure, I was into freaking Keck, you know, and it was like, then I found out it was apparently, I think, it was something just made up as a mockery by freaking Sargon of Akkad. I'm like, okay, you know, and not that I agree with a lot of things on the right, because I'll agree with this, but I won't agree with that. You know, because Steven Crowder, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're a mainstreamer. You know, Richard Spencer and Jared Taylor, okay, they're Nazis. You know, Ramsey Paul, you know, you know, AIU and friggin' Black Pigeon Speaks and Unduned and Bearing, and it's like, well, you know, I appreciate free speech, but this is all about freaking getting views. This is all just YouTube. This isn't, I mean, you might believe in it, but it's kind of like you profit off it. And the people who freaking you're criticizing profit off you. Because, you know, hell, free advertisement. There's points and times I can't even watch another freaking anti-SJW video because, God, I'm getting so much freaking more freaking feminism and shit than I ever freaking would otherwise. Or not just feminism, but the whole alt-left thing. I guess you could call it alt-left. You know, that's the problem with the progressive left, is because you can't freaking put a finger on it. They won't let you. They don't want you to. They want you to freaking keep hopping and keep guessing and changing the goalposts all the time. That's another thing that's disingenuous to me. I mean, at least with conservatives, you know, well, no, because some of them are just, well, crooks, you know. But once you understand the conservative mindset, that it's a matter of property ownership. Do you own your life? Do you own your kids? Do you own your property? Do you own your business? Do you freaking own freaking the space around you? Do you own your privacy? And do you own your right of free speech, including online? You know, and what I think, at least economically, And why I'm not a total libertarian, just straight out. Well, one, I like my benefits. Why lie, But two, I don't think you can low bid and have a for-profit public services for the public good. Like for-profit prisons. No. That's a conflict of interest. A lot of things that are like police, fire, justice, anything that serves the public good, that's supposed to be partial, can't be for profit. I guess that's why I have to consider myself an economic progressive. Well, that and I'm a futurist, post-scarcity futurist. But the only reason I am is because I don't believe profit and public good can go together. I could be an economic progressive, but the way the system is, you'd have to have the big guys fall, and that includes the banks, things like the Koch brothers, but they're so big now that they're basically just robber barons. There's no way to keep them from influencing anything. And on the flip side, that's a problem with protest culture also, because they're in it for supplements, kickbacks, projects, anything they can crowdfund and get funding for, they can also siphon off for themselves. Like when Al Gore friggin' came out and all of a sudden it was revealed he had all this stock and profit into green energy. Now, I've got no problem with green energy, but, when you're profiting, and worse yet, and now I can't prove this, but I think, worse yet, when you're doing it disingenuously, basically, in name only, and not really for the best interest of environmentalism itself, but for the freaking, your own personal interest, just like the sciences, just like the humanities, just like the higher education. I would say higher education, but it's all education now. And all these other political lobbies, which are on the progressive side, are just as bad as what's happening on the business side with big business. Big business, big interest. And this just denies the personhood of frigging the constituency of the native-born people. And it feels like social justice and all these other anti-discrimination and all these other things are not a means to themselves, but are a means to the ends to friggin' divide and subvert the constituency, especially the native-born constituency of whatever race that is. So, but mostly that will be white, because we're a majority white nation for right now. And it's like, that's why I consider myself kind of a civic nationalist, because, that dirty N-word, because I do want limited immigration. I do want freaking a representative culture that's reflective of my own. And that doesn't mean that it's a zero-sum game either, because what may be more for me may not be less for somebody else. But of course the social progressives, they don't believe that. They consider that freaking taboo. Oh, if we slip on keeping going mindlessly progressive, forward, without a thought, without a step back, without a new direction, oh my God, we're going to be back in freaking we're going to be back in Jim Crow. We're going to be back in, the suffrage movement. We're going to be back in freaking, the segregated South. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe freaking like the 1930s, freaking Nazis, or not Nazis, but the Klan will be freaking marching the street, thousands and hundreds of thousands strong, whatever historically it was. And it's all this stuff about tiki things and all that. A lot of people that I watch that are on the alt-right, especially for my liberal friends, they are freaking, what they're saying is that a lot of these freaking neo-Nazis are freaking cosplay actors. Well, and then they always put further Jews, So, the alt-right and the white nationalists will use valid or semi-valid talking points, and they will use them that align with their talking points. So, when I hear something like that, I'm thinking on the one hand, yeah, why isn't it okay to be white? On the other hand, it's like, oh, okay, I see what their agenda is. Okay, let's bolster anti-minority sentiment. Let's freaking mock this and try to disparage it so it has no more validity. And in a way, as a civic nationalist, I want that too, but I just don't want them. I don't want fascism. I want liberty and justice and freedom for everyone. Well, for every citizen. Non-citizens get human suffrage. People that aren't citizens should go home after 90 days. Why are there 11 million friggin' illegal immigrants in friggin' our country? Why is it friggin' considered politically incorrect, and the hell with political correctness, to friggin' say illegal immigrant? That's why a lot of the, not alt-right, but a lot of the freaking anti-SJW stuff resonates with me, because it's like, wait a minute, I'm an egalitarian, and you can't say egalitarian anymore, because apparently, that's been mocked and ridiculed. So they defeated that term, and it's like all these terms like cultural Marxism and anything that could be a representative of some kind of truth, some kind of value of insight in the free marketplace of ideas, just gets freaking sunk and burned by these disingenuous progressives and the people who follow them. I won't say useful idiots, but everybody can be a useful idiot to some extent. Just follow them, and and without really examining or even wanting to examine the other side of it. Because as far as me knowing the other side, that's where I came from first. I mean, I was a rocker when I was a kid, and that was like stoner, and that was like a liberal. I didn't know any better. I absorbed all the freaking left-wing stuff I didn't even realize. And then Desert Storm happened, and I switched. And then I was like, okay, I got a little bit of Star-Spangled Eyes, And then it was like, oh, okay, that was just a feel-good thing. Here we go. And it was like, okay, well, freaking the Iraq War, and here comes the liberals again, after 9/11. And it's like, oh my God, do you have to have a disaster to have a freaking not postmodernist country anymore? I don't know. That's why I'm disillusioned with the progressive left. It just isn't me. Although, what I see on the other side is only me in certain ways, because really, I'm more with the left. It's just the left isn't what I see myself as where it's become. Perhaps where it was to some degree. And unless it gets back to that, I can't identify with it. I just can't. And I don't know what else to say. And that's why I think nationalism would be a good thing, because it's a bad word, but if it got over that, it could actually bring about a new dynamic in the political structure, and I think that would be a very good thing. So, yeah, nationalism. Ooh, it's like capitalism. Capitalism's horrible, but you got anything else that works any better? Shh, because this ain't. All this ain't. And everybody knows somehow it's got to be different. Okay, that's curious. Let me know what you think, because I don't know where this came from, but here it is.